All right, happy Thursday, everybody. Now, normally we don't cover comments until the end of the show, but I saw one comment that made its way through on yesterday's episode when we were talking about the topic of hoe hunting, and one person said, Candace, no, you don't actually want hoes to go to prison. You don't actually want to hunt them. You don't want to be extreme. What they're doing in Russia is wrong. And so I wanted to clarify because it's important for me that you guys know my viewpoints. On the topic of hoes, I am, in fact, a radical. Yes, I am. I am far right, far left, whatever you want to call it. I am that. I think that history books are going to refer to me as a neo-hoe hunter. I'm serious, you guys. I want to pop out of a van. I want to Elmer Fudd it. I want to find these people. I want to throw a net on them. But just to be clear, I'm not going to hurt them. I'm going to bring them, as I said, to a clinic, a holistic clinic, holistic. Just to be very clear, I'm just going to ask them questions, basic questions, like, why did you take your boobs out? Why'd you do it? Why did you feel the need to take your boobs out here? That's my vision. Moving on, you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about the Ruby Franke case because it is not something that I initially expected to cover. Are you familiar with it? The woman on YouTube, she's a Mormon. She was abusing her children. But now I want to cover it simply because I listened to her at court and I don't know how to feel about it. I thought her statement was actually very impactful, and I feel strange saying that about somebody who quite literally abused her children. Let's talk about it. Plus, later on in the show, you're not going to believe it, or maybe you will, but the media is currently trying to brainwash people to love dirty cities, love their rats, love their cockroaches because, well, yeah, diversity is our strength. And it's diverse here with the rats and the cockroaches. By the way, guys, I don't know how I waited this long to do it, but later on in the show, we will be covering the fact that Beyonce is now a country singer. A lot of people are feeling a certain way about that. What's my viewpoint? I know you want to hear it, and you're going to be glad to know that I'm just going to rip Matt Walsh's content because I can. It's Black History Month, and there's nothing that he can say about it that wouldn't make him a racist. All that and more today coming up on Candace Owens. Okay, Ruby Franke, I think you guys are going to be really interested in this case if you are not following it. Initially, we thought about covering it on the show, but it was just kind of one of those weird, out in Utah. They are a Mormon family. There's nothing wrong with them obviously being Mormon. I have tons of Mormon listeners. I just didn't know if it was going to add anything to the discussion to cover this because it got quite dark. She was one of these YouTubers. There's tons of them now that look like they have the perfect family, right? That was kind of the draw of her YouTube channel. It was entitled 8 Passengers, and it featured her husband, and their 6 children. Super cute. Everybody's dressed well. They're church going. They're supposed to be this perfect Christian family. And then things got really dark. And I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. They had 2 million subscribers, and people started realizing that some of her punishing techniques were a little strange. Following her rise, they started to criticize the fact that she was allowing her children to prank one another. And then they recognized that one of her children was sleeping in a beanbag. This was back in June 2020. And concerned viewers of the channel actually went ahead and contacted the local child protective services saying like something's not right. They even launched a change.org petition saying that, hey, as a form of punishment, you shouldn't be allowing your child to sleep in the beanbag. And when people asked her about this, she basically said, no, he loves it. Like this is actually a healthy form of punishment, whatever it was. And then it got a little bit darker. In August of 2022, she also faced criticism for refusing to bring lunch to her then 6-year-old after her daughter said she had packed food but had actually forgotten it, right? So as a punishment for forgetting the food, she said, I'm just going to refuse to bring the children lunch. I'm just not going to allow the 6-year-old to eat. Again, way too harsh. People were noticing this, but CPS did nothing about it. The police officers, despite going to her home a few times, didn't actually do anything extreme.